Alrighty, guys, it's your boy JT, the freaking car guy. Checking the light on, as you can see from that little yellow creature up there. Her daughter, she don't want her daughter driving it with the light on. Like I said, some of the simplest things can turn that light on. All right, so my job here is to find out why the light on and what it would take to get the damn light out. Okay, this is one of those customers. I don't know if y'all got personal customers or your own family member cars, but it's one of those customers. If she suspect, if I even give any hint that she gonna be on the side of the road, she want it replaced. For instance, y'all know me, some parts I recommend get replaced no matter if it's bad or not at a certain mile. What we got? 200,000 miles. For instance, at 200,000 miles, now I don't hear any noise, so I might wait till I hear some noise. But and this is all quality stuff on this car, the parts. But things like alternator, I know, guys. There's some guys out there going, I ain't replacing alternator until they need it. Well, I'm the same way. But when you have those customers that so fearful of breaking down because of something that goes out at a particular mile interval, they want it replaced. They don't give a damn. All right. Yeah, and I'm scared to tell her because she'll tell me to replace it, and that's more money out of her pocket than she may have. And I don't want to get her in that position, so I'll keep a lot of things to myself. Now, if her budget was well off, I was like, yeah, you might want to. I've seen those alternators go out around 200,000 miles, give you problems, and they wig out, and you won't start because it's not charging the battery. Just, yeah, she the type that yell out, replace it then, replace it. What the hell you doing? Hurry, I'm not driving that car no more until you get it replaced. Lady, it's working fine now. I'm saying, so I had to tone down that rhetoric with her. Okay, because she'll yell at, she'll make me replace it. I mean, she gonna pay me, but I'm saying she would. Yeah, so that's a risky thing, but this is the way I do my my girl car or her vehicle. Yeah, if I suspect it's about to go, I'm gonna, like, if I see a heater hose starting to leak, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. I ain't gonna wait till it leak and then fix it. Yeah, so stuff like that. I'm changing the oil right now, guys. I have done everything to this car. I did a trans service. She got 200,000 miles now. I did it at, guess what? She do again. I did it at 100,000. Well, this one ain't got a drain plug, so when you drop the pan and replace it. So it's gonna be time for a filter, but right now we're gonna prioritize. Where's bank 2? P0430, guys. This cat is not efficient. This cat is not efficient anymore. All right, so it's setting that code. I know a lot of y'all replace the O2 sensor. The O2 sensor is getting replaced anyway, but that's not gonna, look, guys, replacing the O2 sensors with a code like that is not gonna make the cat magically become efficient. Okay, the way y'all looking at it is, that's likely what's wrong with it. I told y'all, the newer the car, the more advanced or sophisticated the PCM is. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, the PCM have no reason, or the PCM tends to prioritize its onboard testing. Okay, so it might do the cat first and do the O2 last because the efficiency of the cat matter. But the thing about it uses the O2 sensors to measure or test the efficiency of the cat. All right, so it may test the O2 sensors first or perform its computer testing or whatever. Yeah, and if the O2s come back, they heating up properly and they doing their thing, then it would see if the cat doing its thing based on the upstream and the downstream. If it's not, it's going to fail that test and it's going to set a code. A lot of y'all want to put that spacer in between here, but no, she's not trying to get emissions. She just want her car fixed. She want it fixed. There's a difference between bootleg, hack way, or fix. Okay, that spacer just gonna move the O2 sensor out farther and it will turn the light out, but that's temporarily. That's in the event, that's for emergency to get emissions, guys. That's not a fix. Okay, your cat's still gonna be efficient or inefficient or inefficient with that little spacer in there. Yeah, y'all people love to brag on that stuff. It's cool. I put one on mine to pass emission, but that's all it's for. All right, yeah, I did the diff service. Remember, that's a differential back here. I forgot. I remember one time I tried to. Yeah, see, they welded it. I couldn't weld it. I had it bootleg. Yeah, that's not good. So she got that fixed. I already did the diff service. Probably time for that again. Brakes. Yeah, I do all that stuff. So I keep her. All right, so let me get this thing. I'm just changing the oil because I got some bad news for her. I'm gonna call her in a second. What we got going on here? Like I said, I did that cooler. Yeah, this thing had oil all over the transmission. I did the cooler about 120,000 miles ago when it had 80,000. Okay, so if it's leaking again, it's just because the seals on the bottom. That is the revised cooler. Any cooler is going to leak from the seals on the bottom over time. Don't give a damn if it's aluminum, made of gold plated platinum. I don't give a damn what it's made for. Eventually, those seals over time will start leaking. I got to call her with some bad news. I'm done changing the oil, guys. Alrighty, guys, I got it up on the screen. Well, not Mopar, guys. I'll take a Derman cat for this damn price. Oh, my goodness. I'm up on Advanced Auto. As you can see, I got the year, make, and model in. Guys, I need, I have a P04, was it 30? Bank 2. It's on the right side. Look at the prices of these. MagnaFlow is a name brand, right? Real good name brand. It's up there quality-wise with Mopar. Now, if MagnaFlow $1,500, Mopar has to be almost $2,000. This is crazy how much cat converters are going for. All right, so now the thing is, I don't mind like the lower version. Whatever can get me, whatever I can get a warranty on. How's that? Okay, I'm not like a picky. I'm not gonna. I'm looking out for her budget, and it has to be select fit, meaning it has to be. I don't want to cut a converter. I don't want nothing like this. Where is it at? Yeah, I'm not cutting and splicing in, and yeah, I'm not doing none of that. So it has to be select fit. But I'm gonna have to tell her she's looking at almost $1,000 no matter which one I get. All right, yeah, I'm not. Ooh, look at this, Derman. Wait a minute, Derman. Now, before I choose any of this other stuff, I would definitely, guys, I talk a lot of shit about, Derman and whatever. It's only because of their coolers. I have no problem with Derman other than that. How they went about handling and got the public misled on those coolers. Okay, so, I have no other problems with Derman. Okay, everything else is cool with me. Because I put a Derman cooler on one of my other customers' minivan. So at this rate, not carb compliant, direct replacement. Okay, it's not direct. If it's all split open, I don't want to do nothing. So I would probably, if she's gonna spend upwards of $1,000, it's gonna be on a name brand one that will give me, what's the warranty on this thing? I don't know. Oh, look, 5 years. She ain't gonna have the car in 5 years. Okay, so just gonna tell her she's gonna need roughly $800 to get a cat converter on the right side. Now, mind you, all of this is to turn out the light. All right, she said, my daughter called me and said the light on. I don't want her driving with the light on. I say, it's some of the simplest things that can cause a light on. You can leave your gas cap loose, cause your light on. I mean, there's no reason to not drive the car. And this is one of those cases. You can continue to drive with a cat converter. I mean, you may be doing other damage. This car has over almost 200,000 miles. So, yeah. In fact, let's go see. Let's go back to the car. Yeah, those cats, what is it? 204,000 miles. This car got this, see that big check engine light on, so she going to full panic mode because the light on. I get it. That's what the light is for, to alert you that there's emission-related problems. Your car has onboard diagnostic capability where it can diagnose some of this stuff on its own, on board, and it will alert you by way of a check engine light. So your job is to get it to a JT, not Cousin Pookie, get it to a JT type guy so he can get it looked at and figured out. All right, so I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna let her know what she up against. That damn thing is high, so I'll let her know. Let her make the call. All right, it's not my call. It's not my money. It's 200,000 miles. There's no reason to get rid of the car. Parts fail, guys. Golly, okay, things wear out, things fail. This cat essentially not good, not efficient enough to keep up with today's standards. How's that? It's worn out. That happens. I love y'all be talking about, just try some O2 sensors. Yes, I could try O2 sensors on her car because she's my personal customer. If this was a customer of the shop, no. You need a cat. You get a cat and an O2 with this many mileage. So it depends on how you look at it. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching.